Hey folks, Happy New Year, or Happy New Year's Eve, I should say. What do we celebrate New Year's with? Champagne. And what are you going to do if you are somebody who has dysphagia and it's New Year's Eve and you need to have your liquids thickened? Well, I'm here for you because I will thicken champagne. And why would I thicken champagne? And the real answer is, why not? So, when we have champagne, as you know, there is going to be a lot of carbonation in here because that is the distinctive characteristic of champagne. And so I had to develop a technique for dealing with the carbonation in here that allows you to still feel that carbonation, but get it thickened so the person with dysphagia can still drink it safely and they can still feel that carbonation. But you can see this is a big foamy mess. There is a lot of carbonation that has to come out of here. And as you know, champagne takes a while for all the carbonation to come out of it. And what we're trying to do here is we are releasing some of that carbonation. And when we're done here, we want this to be something that somebody's going to drink within the next hour or so. And I say the next hour because over time that carbonation is going to come out. And the nature of a thickened liquid is that when the bubbles come out, they can't go up to the top the way they can here. And so not only do we pour some to get it out, I also mix it a bit. And I'm probably going to do this twice just because there is so much carbonation versus like a beverage. And what I'm trying to do is just get that down to the point where I call it the excess carbonation, the really loose stuff that comes out right away. This is kind of like how your champagne is at 1 a.m., right? But for the person with dysphagia, they're still going to be able to participate. So I'm going to put my thickener over here. Now that I've released a lot of carbonation over here, I'm going to pour from this cup to that cup very carefully because I do not want to release carbonation now. I want this to be ready to pour into their glass and for them to be able to say Happy New Year right at the stroke of midnight and to enjoy their champagne. This is a technique we developed a few years ago specifically for carbonated beverages so that you can mix them and you can thicken them and people can enjoy these beverages and be a part of the celebrations and things like that. So champagne is lets off a lot of carbonation, so it is very tricky to get this thickened without releasing all that carbonation. But we're going to try. I'm using a paddle stir here. I go back and forth. That is a technique that mixes without a lot of bubbles being released. I can also use a figure 8. That mixes well too without a lot of agitation, without releasing a lot of bubbles. And the key here is this is not the first beverage you've thickened, that you're somebody who's done a lot of thickening and that you know what it feels like when you've hit that slightly thick level. Because we are not going to be able to run this through an ITSE flow funnel and we won't be able to confirm the thickness. We have to rely on your technique and your experience. How do we know if that works well? Well, we've done some research where when we take these beverages and we put them in a vacuum chamber when we're done mixing, when you have people who are trained at this and they say, yep, that's thick enough, we put them in the vacuum chamber and then we do a flow test on it and it is properly thickened. So you can see this is nicely thickened, slightly thick champagne. So folks, if it is New Year's Eve and you need your beverages thickened, I got you covered. Thanks.